but we still have an hour of daybreak to get to.
Yeah.
Let's start off your Monday with your weather, though. We want to go to your forecast first, the meteorologist Elisa Raffa.
Good morning, guys. It's warm out there this morning, 70 degrees in Branson. We've got some sun coming through, some clouds in Branson, calm winds, and of course pretty sticky out there and humid. No surprise. We're dry in Missouri, but we do got a couple of storms right over Huntsville in northwest Arkansas. Berryville seeing a light shower there too. We're seeing some locally heavy rain, maybe isolated cases of lightning, but that's about it. 73 in Springfield, it's 70 in Branson, 72 in Ava, and 71 up in Rolla. We'll have green light conditions on the roads for most of the afternoon, and then we're looking at some scattered showers and storms later on this afternoon and evening. So the first half of the day should be okay at the pool. Then we're looking at that storm chance after 1, 2 o'clock. That UV index is still pretty high. We could pop a storm measure firing up the barbecue this evening, and then we should be quiet on the overnight. 78 degrees by 10 o'clock. We're tracking a couple of storm chances in the weather lab for you this morning, and some heat, but not as oppressive. Details in 10 minutes.
All right, Elisa, thank you. Moving on to a traffic alert this morning. US 65 southbound traffic is now closed just north of I-44.
Yeah, it marks yet another phase in MoDOT's 65 rebuild project. And there's a map where the project currently stands as well. Crews are rebuilding a 50-year-old bridge spanning across I-44, as well as pavement that's been there since the 70s. Color 10's Daniel Shedd is live at Highway 65, and we check in with him this morning with some more info.
Well, Joe and Lauren, good morning. Springfield drivers will surely remember the 65 rebuild that happened last summer. Northbound 65 cruising along this morning, but if you look in this direction, traffic coming from the south, non-existent, and that's because southbound 65 has been closed north of I-44. MoDOT tweeted out some pictures this weekend about their work on I-44. That work is done. The interstate flowing in both directions completely open this morning. As for southbound 65, it's a part of a $4.3 million project to replace that road that's used by nearly 27,000 drivers each day. Now, MoDOT does anticipate this project to last until the end of August. They have a list of detours on their website. Just a quick recap, southbound 65 expected to be completely shut down north of I-44 until August. Reporting live in Springfield, Daniel Shedd, Color 10 News, Ozarks First.
Moving on to some political coverage, circling back to what's going on in Finland today. After spending the past week pressing European allies on trade and defense spending, the president is meeting with Vladimir Putin right now.
The two will meet alone for 90 minutes, which has some concern the president may make unnecessary concessions, but Trump has said this may be the easiest meeting of his trip. CBS's Kylie Atwood is at the summit in Helsinki, Finland.
The world will be watching as President Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin sit down for their first summit here in Helsinki. The president isn't promising deliverables.
I don't expect anything. I frankly don't expect. I go in with very low expectations.
And Trump administration officials say there's no set agenda.
So this is an attempt to see if we can diffuse and take some of the drama and quite frankly, some of the danger out of the relationship right now.
The president is not sure that today's meeting can flip a switch on the fraught U.S.-Russia relationship. He singled out the Russia investigation as a major sticking point.
I think we're greatly hampered by this whole witch hunt that's going on in the United States, the Russian witch hunt.
The Mueller investigation indicted 12 more Russians for election interference on Friday. The president says he'll raise the issue of Russian meddling in the 2016 election.
I will absolutely bring that up. I don't think you'll have any, gee, I did it, you got me.
Russia's hostile actions in Ukraine and Syria are two other top burner issues expected to come up in today's meeting. Former National Security Advisor to President Obama, Tom Donnelly.
The list of actively hostile actions by the Russians since Putin's return to office is extreme, and we haven't had any response from the president on this. This is really his responsibility now.
The two have met at global events in the past, but never in an extended one-on-one like today. Kylie Atwood, CBS News, Helsinki.
The president also tweeted about 4 hours ago, quote, "Our relationship with Russia has never been worse thanks to many years of U.S. foolishness and stupidity and now the rigged witch hunt."
Making news right now this morning with hot and dry weather across the Ozarks, the farming industry is now suffering financial damage. It comes after a report from the Department of Agriculture saying nearly 70% of Missourians are experiencing some kind of drought conditions. The lack of rain this year has prompted the Willer Fire Department to say it may be issuing a burn ban in the near future. Right now, they currently have a burn advisory in place. Springfield National Weather Service says this year we're 3 to 6 inches of rain below average, and because of the drought warnings around the state, cattle farmers are having a tough time finding reasonably priced hay to buy for their cattle.
Hay prices are up as high as $200 a ton for grass hay, which is easily double, almost triple what it was last year.
Everybody's in the same situation, so there's no hay to be bought. What there is so expensive that you can't justify buying it. You can't afford to pay $80, $90 a bale or more.
Those were farmers Mark DeLong and John Deutsch saying because of the drought, they're going to have to sell their cattle. They're hoping the weather turns around, but it may still not be that easy to recover. Of course, Elisa has been telling you about the drought conditions, and coming up in her next full weather, she'll have details on what kind of rain we can expect.